just on
I know Jason usually does. And I'm the cousin sub of the name there. I can't steal Scalzo's energy when he yells Happy Friday. So I'm not going to list it off. I'm your cousin sub of the day. I'm Gabe Neitzel. I am in for Jason Wilde here today on Wilde Tausch. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is the Super Bowl champion. He is Mark Tauscher. And Tausch, I'm hanging out with you guys today because here in Milwaukee, all week long, we have been doing an ESPN Milwaukee Cares initiative where I have been raising money for the Mac Fund. I have my 100-hole event that I have done for the last 4 years. The fifth year I have participated for the Ringer. And in addition, through a challenge from Jen Latta, who is the typical co-host on my show on 94.5 ESPN, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, we had set a goal of $13,100, and if we had reached that, I would run a half marathon. Well, yesterday on Scalzo and Rust, it got a little out of control, got a little out of hand, and we raised a bunch of money. And courtesy of a match as well from Paintings for Pediatrics, we are over the $13,100 mark currently. So I am going to have to run a half marathon, but I took some people down with me. I got to slap Ben Brust. He's going to get slapped again by Scalzo at some points. Josh DiMaggio is going to get not just one but two tattoos, and Greg Scalzo is cutting his hair. So we had a heck of a day on Scalzo and Brust yesterday.
So, couple questions here. Obviously, Gabe, glad you're with us today. It's a great cause, and you've been doing it for a while. But you're not really sacrificing when you're golfing 100 holes. That's actually something that you love and you want to go do. The marathon, 100%. Though.
Yes.
The marathon, I don't know anybody that, unless you're an avid runner, who wants to go run? You don't take this the wrong way. I don't feel like you're an avid runner. Is that fair?
That's correct. That you are 100% correct. A half marathon is something I have never had any interest in doing.
And now you, because your generosity, you have decided if you got to that number, you're doing it. That happened, and you're a week out yet. You still have another week. If it gets doubled, do you run the full marathon?
If we double it, yes, I'll do the full marathon. I'll do the full 26.
So where are you at right now?
If we get to 26,000, so right now, and again, the match has not officially come in on my fundraising page, but we know it's there. So right now it's $13,219. So we would basically have to double, almost double that, a little less to get to the 26,000 that it would take for me to run an absolute full marathon.
Okay, but there is a chance that you could do it. But
yeah, there's
all right.
a chance.
So can you
absolutely?
Can you explain how yesterday went? Because I was listening to some of the show yesterday with you and Scals.
Yep.
Those guys are philanthropists at heart. They love doing stupid stuff. And Scals, I think, has wanted to get a haircut for a while, so he wisely put that in. But Josh DiMaggio, getting a tattoo is a big deal. Like, that's something that sticks with you for life. Was there a lot of persuading that you needed to do to get Big Cat to end up signing up for 2 tattoos?
Well, so, again, I think we got, as Josh kind of said at the end of yesterday's Scalzo and Brust, I think we got a little drunk on the high that we were getting from raising that much money. And, last year we had done, somebody had paid money for Ben to get slapped, and Josh was the one who did the slapping. And let's be honest, it was a little weak. It was a little bit of a weak slap. So once we had kind of set some of these goals and we had sprinted past them on Scalzo and Brust, we just kept upping the ante where Scal's like, oh, I'll cut my hair. And then we asked Josh what he would do, and he said he wanted to get a Scalzo and Brust tattoo, which then led Homer to Homer calling in and saying he would donate $1,000 if he got a Homer tattoo as well. So Josh has a couple of different tattoos, and he said that, when you raise $2,000 for childhood cancer, it seems worth getting the 2 tattoos that he's going to get. So it kind of seems like to me he wanted to maybe get another tattoo. I don't know about 2, but once he was convinced to do 1, it didn't seem like Homer had to try very hard at all to get Joshy to agree to the second tattoo.
So just wait a second. Homer has a tattoo of Homer that's going on Josh DiMaggio's body.
Correct. So they're
Am
in
I hearing that
negotiations
right?
of what that's going to look like. Yeah, so they're in negotiations of what that tattoo is going to look like. Josh has some creative ideas. So it's not just like straight up a picture of Homer or the words Homer. I think there might be something over Homer's, because Homer loves saying, "Oh, baby." So there may be something around that. But there is going to be a Homer-themed tattoo that is going to go on Josh DiMaggio's body. That is correct.
Wow. That's impressive. All right.
Like I said, it
So-
got out of control yesterday.
So I want our show to contribute and help you too. I'm trying to figure out what that's going to be, and now that you just said that, if you can convince Wilde to get a tattoo of Wilde and Tausch on his body, I got $1,000 for this cause too.
All right. I feel it's going to take a little more convincing.
You can persuade and
did
push.
with Joshy.
Okay.
But I think we can work on that. I think we can work
right.
on getting Jace. We've got a week to do it. I think if everybody pressures him, we might be able to peer pressure him into getting a tattoo, even though tattoo does not seem like it's up Wilde's alley at all.
Yeah, So I will not get a tattoo for a lot of reasons. One, a lot of skin. It's not a good look for me. And if I did get one, I'd go calf. I'd put it on my calf.
Okay.
That's probably my best. So would you get a tattoo, Gabe?
Yeah, I think I would get a tattoo. I would get some sort of Good Karma Brands, ESPN Milwaukee, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, something along those lines.
Jordan Love Forever, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd go Jordan Love Forever, but, I feel like that's that one's awfully risky. But I would do something to commemorate, maybe just a Mac Fun tattoo, even, something to commemorate the week in 2 weeks that we're having here as part of this initiative.
Huh.
But
yeah,
I'm already running a half. And if we double what I've already raised and we get to 26, I feel running a full. Like, that's a huge sacrifice. Like, I think I'm doing my part here. But if it helps raise more money,
there's
I think
nobody,
I can be convinced.
Gabe. Nobody's going to argue that you're not doing your part. I think now we have to, from the Wilde and Tausch crew, we got to figure out. This is what's great about our company is that you have to figure out. All right, somebody is doing something, and now you want to compete and also help the cause. So we need to figure out, and I don't know what that answer is yet because Wilde and I are both soft. Neither of us are running a marathon. I want to put money in that Jason golfs, and if he can break that 200 that we would do, I would love to do that or the tattoo. I'd give him both. So, Gabe, when you get a chance, when Wilde joins your show next week, because your deadline is coming,
Yep.
I would put those two things, but he has to allow someone to videotape him while he's golfing at Lac La Belle or wherever. If he breaks 200, I owe, and if he shoots over 200, he owes. I think that's more viable than either of us getting a tattoo. Is that fair?
I think that's very fair because it's something that you guys have talked about for a while, and I think your fan base would love to see that get paid off.
For sure. Would absolutely love it. So that's where I think we're at. I don't think we're going to do the tattoos or the haircuts or any of the. You don't want to steal other people's stuff. If I could, running a marathon, I just know you would not see me ever again. Like, that'd be it. I'm not making it. The 13-1, 26-2, it doesn't matter. So I was trying to think of other stuff. Hot air balloon ride. Not real gung-ho about that, but that's something that maybe. Skydiving. I'm never going to bungee. That's not something I'm interested in doing. So let's come up with some ideas that Wilde and I don't know now with Twitter not being blue-checked and how you poll. I don't know how the new Twitter is working, but I do wonder what ideas we could come up with to help Gabe and his cause to continue to raise money. Plus, we want to see Gabe run a full marathon. We want to see Gabe keel over. We want to see him struggling, sweating, and bleeding, but finishing. That's what we're hoping for.
So if you do want to donate, if you text the ESPN Milwaukee Talk and Text line, if you text the word CARES, CARES, to 800-990-3776, a link to my fundraising page will be sent directly to you. We try to make it as easy as we possibly can for folks to donate for these causes. And keep those, again, on the talking text line, keep those suggestions on what maybe the Wilde Tausch crew can do in order to try to match what Scalzo and Brust did yesterday with the tattoos and the haircuts. And, yeah, I mean, you guys aren't all in the same location, so the slap, and I feel like the slap is very exclusive to Ben Brust. Like, I don't know how many people would want to see you or Wilde get slapped, but there were plenty of people lining up to donate to see Ben Brust get slapped.
Yeah, people want to punish Ben Brust for whatever reason. It doesn't matter if it's slapping, kicking him. I would bet if Ben let somebody punch him in the face, that would really go for a lot of money. I think that would be a great auction item to help. Because Brusty's got one of those, I hear Chewy on your guys' show a lot say punchable faces. Brusty's got that punchable face. You know,
a little bit. He gets that little smirk going. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got that little sarcastic attitude, and people want to slap / kind of get after Brusty. That's part of his charm.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And like I said, I mean, I slapped him yesterday and then helped him right up off the ground. It's like somebody wants to punch him, but then help him up because, you know, he's kind of a poor little defenseless puppy.
No, did you go full tilt?
It's wild.
Did you go full tilt on the slap, or did you? Because I watched that slap show that's on, I think Dana White's got this slap show that he's putting out. And there are people that end up, like, being knocked out. They'll fall, and you almost worry about them breaking their face because they're unconscious when they get slapped.
So I didn't want to go full out, and you'll see in the video, I'm asking Scals, like, how far should I go back? Because the one thing I had in my mind was last year when we did this, and Josh did the slap. I still have the video on my phone. It's a little slap. Like, almost Ben was offended at the lightness of the slap that Josh gave last year. So in my mind, I'm going, okay, it can't be light. It can't be that light. You're trying to figure it out. I don't slap a lot of people in the face, Tausch, so trying to figure out how hard you want to hit him was tough.
Yeah.
So I also decided the element of surprise. Like, I asked Scals, hey, how far back do you think I should go? Scals says, however far back you want, and I pretty much pull the trigger right away to kind of catch him by surprise as well in terms of, yeah. And I thought we got pretty good audio, pretty good video of it. If you want to check it out, it's all over at ESPN Milwaukee, at Jen Gabe Chewy, at Scalzo and Brust on Twitter. You can see the videos that we have been posting ever since Ben got slapped.
Oh, I saw the video. It is glorious. It gives, you know what? It gave a great window into both Gabe's heart and what he's doing and to the Scalzo and Brust crew, who were fantastic in their generosity. And it also gives you a window into what our company is all about. And when you're talking windows, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is where everybody needs to go. And that great lineup that they have. Right now, leading off is their innovative and award-winning Easy Slide horizontal window that reveals tons of natural light and unobstructed views. And next up in the order is Pella's premium roll screen. Like magic, the screen rolls out of sight when you close the window. And on deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door. Like any great utility player, they can be placed anywhere on the field with custom sizes and colors to fit your home's decor. Get 0% interest for 48 months when you order by April 30th at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions do apply.
Craig Carmerson had some interesting comments about Aaron Rodgers and whether or not he would be welcome at Packers training camp this late summer, early fall. We'll listen to those comments, hear the reaction from the big guy. That's coming up next. Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula on Advent's one-stop-shop office-based procedures approach to solving breathing triangle problems.
A lot of folks are like, I don't want to go to surgery. You know, isn't there something else we can do? And at Advent, there is something else we can do. We have a whole host of office-based options where you don't have to go to surgery. We can do it under local anesthesia, get these things taken care of. How does that sound? And don't be surprised when you hear that a lot of people go for those options. When given the choice between surgery and office procedures, almost everybody that we talk to and give them the choice, they choose the office. That's not surprising. That's just understanding your patients and offering them the options that they would choose. So I think at Advent, when you put all that together, we are a one-stop shop for these issues.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com today because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
The NBA playoffs are finally here.
Drives in on Giannis, puts the shot up, rejected by Giannis on the second jump.
And the quest for a championship starts on Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia.
He's been their best three-point shooter so far. He's just found his niche.
Every series right here. And it starts in round one when the Bucks try to take down the Miami Heat.
Punishing dunk from the Greek Freak. Take that.
You can listen live throughout the playoffs right here on 94.5 ESPN.
It's Jeff Levering for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Look at that effortless horizontal window slide, letting in lots of light. And that roll, it's a double play. Like magic, the screen disappears when the window is closed. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door, featuring the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Order by April 30th and get 0% for 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta for St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Are you looking for the perfect restaurant for your next night out? Make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate, your next dinner destination. Specializing in artisanal American cuisine, Aria features carefully prepared seasonal entrees along with a robust selection of craft cocktails, wine, and local beer. New to Aria's menu is a family-style chicken dinner available every Sunday, featuring the restaurant's famous bro-stish chicken served with sides like mashed potatoes, goat cheese biscuits, and more. Learn more and make reservations at Aria at stkatearts.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN Wisconsin. I'm your cousin sub of the day, Gabe Neitzel, along with Mark Tauscher. And every Friday on the show, I typically do Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, 94.5 ESPN, 7 to 9. Every Friday, we have Good Karma Brands founder and CEO Craig Karmazin on. You may also recognize him from Sunday Karma right here on ESPN Wisconsin, Sunday mornings at 10. And Tausch, he has just been on this kick of, first he wants Aaron Rodgers back. And thinks he should be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers in 2023. But now he's also been pushing this idea out there that the Packers should be as patient as possible and welcome Aaron to training camp with open arms. Here was Carmi this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I think the deal's already done, and they're just waiting for the big splash moment. Do you feel that this could possibly blow up before the draft and it winds up being reopened to other teams in the league?
Absolutely. You know, there's no incentive to hold this back if this deal has happened. And so I do not think this deal has happened, and I think the Packers control the cards. And if they wanted to deal with it, I think they, could have Aaron Rodgers at training camp. That scenario could happen, right? If you're the Packers and you say, hey, Aaron Rodgers is a two-time, 2 MVPs in the last 3 years, and so he's not this like, he's an MVP who's done. that he's a player who's clearly worth at least a first-round pick, and we're going to wait and see who's going to give us a first-round pick. And, and if not, we don't have any reason why we have to trade him before, at any time. There's nothing pushing us to make this decision. He's an asset that's worth a lot, and we're going to hold out for what he's worth.
Whew. Your thoughts, Tausch, of what Karmazin just said about him showing up and the Packers trying to get and milk every last little bit they can out of Aaron Rodgers.
So I want to preface this with saying that Craig is a very smart guy. Okay, everybody that knows Craig knows he's a smart guy. This is a ridiculously bad take. Okay, so I wrote down a couple of notes here as I was listening to Carmy talk. Aaron Rodgers clearly worth a first-round pick. Is he?
No.
If he was, wouldn't there be a first-round pick? I understand Craig's thought process as an executive, trying to extrapolate, I think that's the right word, as much as you can. But what you're forgetting and what you're not getting in this whole thing is there is a lot of other things, including $60 million, that goes into this. This isn't Aaron Rodgers 2012 or 2016. This is 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who is not as elusive, is coming off of a, for him, average season. Do I still think Aaron Rodgers is going to play at a high level? I absolutely do. I think that the New York Jets are going to be in a great position, if he can stay healthy, to make a playoff run. And I think the Packers should hold out and say, if you have a great run, we should benefit from giving you Aaron Rodgers. Agree with that. I don't agree with this, well, the Packers, there's no rush. We believe he's worth a first-round pick, clearly. Somebody will give him to us. No, Craig, they're not going to give you a first-round pick. The Jets are going to be the only team that give you a first-round pick, and that's going to be conditional. So to think that you can just hold out, wait, let this draft pass without getting any compensation to try and help your fourth-year quarterback in his first year as a starter to get better, and this is the part that really gets me with this, because Craig has been saying this for a while. I'll give him credit. He's sticking with it, even though everything is leaning the other way. This idea that, you won't care to bring Aaron Rodgers back during training camp and have him up in the building and have Jordan looking over his shoulder and to have all the veteran players. Balaga joined us yesterday, and he's 1,000% right, just like I am. We're saying, what do you think's going to happen with veteran players? Jordan Love starts out crappy. Let's say he starts out 0-2, 0-3, and he struggles. What do you think veteran players in that locker room are going to think? If Aaron Rodgers is sitting in Malibu getting paid $60 million, you think they're all going to say, well, yeah, this is great. Let's just keep pushing through. Or you're going to say, boy, I think we'd be winning some games if they get 12 back up here. Is that good for culture? Is it? And that part, and I didn't write down what he said. Wooly, and I don't know if you could run that again. We'll get to it later. He said something else after Aaron Rodgers is clearly worth a first-round pick. No, he's not. This isn't last year. You can't reinvent and go back. The opening it up to every other team in the league, I don't know, and I am as big of an Aaron Rodgers fan as there is. I have been very pro Aaron Rodgers for the 6 years we've been doing this show. I cannot think of another team that's out there that would say, you know what, let me give you a first, let me take on this salary, and I don't know if I'm going to have Aaron Rodgers for more than a year, but yeah, all right, I'm going to give you a first-round pick. Because you know what? There's all these rumors with Tennessee and San Fran, and none of them are given a first-round pick in this year's draft. None. San Fran doesn't have one.
San Francisco
Tennessee
doesn't even have one.
So the market is the market. It always is. You can think your house is worth $1.5 million, and when Johnny Realtor comes in and says, "Well, your house is worth $500,000," the market dictates. Your neighbor just sold his place, and his place is bigger, and he just sold his for $490,000. Well, you can ask 1.5, And you can sit there and say, well, somebody's going to pay me 1.5. You know what you're going to end up doing? You're going to end up racking up a ton of bills. You're going to be paying property tax. You're going to be paying to maintain. And all of a sudden, time value money is going to continue to plummet on your end. That's where Green Bay's sitting right now. They have a quarterback that I think everybody still thinks is good, but when you have a $60 million price tag that goes with it, that value drops. And you have, I don't know how long he's going to play, it drops. You have to acknowledge that in your arguments.
And like you said, the market's going to dictate whatever you're worth, whatever the worth is. The offer for a first-round pick would be out there. You can sit there and say, no, he's worth a first. Why aren't you giving us a first? You should just give us first. But if they're not going to give you that first, like at some point you're going to have to just, okay, this is what we got to give him up for. And I don't know if the first-round pick, Tausch, is all about the vanity of it. So now Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst go, oh, we got a first-round pick for Aaron Rodgers. But it seems to me that this deal is going to come down, and if it happens, it's going to be what everybody has thought of what it should be all along. And these guys have just been twiddling their thumbs and wasting everyone's time. It's going to be for 42 or 43 this year, one of the first, the second-round picks of the Jets, and then it's going to be a conditional second-rounder. Why these two sides haven't come to that realization, and it's going to be a conditional second-rounder, no additional compensation should Aaron Rodgers retire, goes back to the Jets, you don't worry about that. It ends up being the 2 seconds, maybe that elevates to a first, and then you move on, and you start building for Jordan Love.
Uh-huh. Well, and here's the deal. I think the Jets have, when Charles Robinson joined us last week, and again, this isn't Dove Kleiman or anyone else. This is someone that knows what the hell's going on. That offer is there.
Someone we can know and prove is a real person.
That, Dove is something else, man. He is an interesting character. I don't know if he gets a blue check. How you get a blue check if you're not? There's somebody should do a story on Dove because I don't necessarily know. Everybody thinks he's